it going? Quick little live stream, got some updates, a little bit of changes to the build thing here, which I will let y'all know as soon as I get some people in here. Hopefully Fast Jimmy will be in here. How's it going, everybody? Real quick Sunday live stream. I'm doing a little bit of decal work and have to do a little modification to some decals. I figured I'd show you what I was doing. Had to fix some stuff that I had messed up, but I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Miss Lisa's over there cooking beef stew, my fave, and ought to be good. Ought to be good. Say what?
You don't like that stew.
It's my fave. So anyway, when I get some people in here, I'll show y'all what I'm doing. I'm having to switch the car that I'm building for the 500 build off that we're doing, or the group build, mainly because, guys, I don't know what it is, but 4 out of 5 cans of Model Master spray paint I get is bad. 4 out of 5 cans that I try to spray, it's just, I can't use Model Master. It just went to crap. So I've been using Tamiya, which I really love, and I think it's very cool. I dig the Tamiya spray paint because it lays down awesomely. Here is some of it there. Here's the decal work I've been doing on this side. You know, I have to do it that way because, well, I'll show you what I'm having to do. There's the decal sheet that I'm using. Now I painted the silver on, so I'm cutting the silver off of the red there and just using that red stripe using this tiny little tool here. Tiny little tool. You get free paint from a body shop. I don't use automotive paint. I like using lacquer, but that's just me. But Model Master paint to me has went downhill. Took Joe who? Joe Duffy? If I don't listen to that type of music. I think country music is simple, weak music for simple-minded people, or sympathy music for weak-minded people. That's what it is. But nothing against people who listen to it. I say that because I have to play it. Apparently, Joe Duffy died.
Joe Diffie?
Joe Duffy. Check and see if he died from coronavirus.
Oh, wow.
And I guess I just ran that person off because I told him I didn't like country music. I hope I didn't. Joe Duffy. That sucks. But, working on the ramp truck. I got the frame all took care of and squared away and built. Each. There's the, now I still gotta, I know the wheels are sticking out a lot and all that, but, and the tires run a little small in this, but, it looks like it's holding well. Does that look right to you guys? Because I know the back is even with the cab. I don't know if it's supposed to be lower than the cab because I can make it lower than the cab. I'm not sure. But, you know, this is all for sale sign back here. That's what the back of it's built out of, is just for sale sign. But, let's see. Anyway, I was doing the Tim Richmond build for the coronavirus thing. And I got the body work done. I got the doors sealed up. I got the primer on it. I got the gold on it. Then Model Master makes a GM dark red. And the GM dark red is perfect for Tim Richmond. Thank you, sir. So I got some more of that because I used it on my other Tim Richmond cars, which I never finished because I seem to run into hellacious problems every time I try to do a Richmond car. But the Model Master paint messed up. It just globbed all up and screwed all up and fish-eyed all up. And I know that there was nothing on that surface. I know it was good to be painted. So I tossed it in the the purple pond, which doesn't seem to get paint off anymore since I changed it to the new formula. But so I did have this, which I had messed up. I had made this silver here was too high. It was about up this middle grade right here because I looked at the box art, but I'm not using the box art decal set. I'm using an aftermarket set of decals, which corrects the mistakes in the model kit, which makes the model kit very toy-like. This takes that away. So I had to get another set, and this is what I'm using now. This is what I'm going by now. But all I did was retape it and dropped my tape line down lower and then sprayed the black again. After I wet sanded the area where it was sticking up the transition of the two colors, and then I resprayed the black over the whole car, and it worked out well. And now here is the red stripe. Try to get out of the way, try to get it to focus, because there's the red stripe, and it's cut from this here, and I'm cutting away the silver. So all I'm using is the red. I'm cutting away the silver because I painted the silver on. And one of the main reasons why I did that was I got to looking at it, and this is the front here, and it has no holes for the front. And you know, I didn't feel like either filling that in, which they did do on some cars, or trying to cut around that and trying to make that look neat. So I knew some modifications would have to be done, and the easiest one would be paint the silver and then go off with the decals, and that's what you get. Now, if you're wondering how you do that, if you'd like to see how you go off with the decals, I can show you right quick. Just give me a few hell yes or yeses or whatever, and I can show you how to do it. It's very simple. It's a lot simpler than you think it is. But a lot of people struggle with it. There's different methods. This is my method that I use, and it works for me. You know? But yeah, I'm hoping the truck's going to come out nice. Working on a lot of stuff with it. But let me just show y'all how to do this. Okay, take your decals. And this works best with Tamiya tape. And a decal sheet that hadn't been molested yet, but I've been working on the car. But just slide it down in there, right? And you get it down in here. Now, works best with Tamiya tape. You take your Tamiya tape, get you a piece of it, and you're going to take, see this decal right here, that's what I need to transfer, right? So that's going to be my paint line. So you take the Tamiya tape, make sure this is in the plastic and down where it's not going to move too much, because it can't move for this process. Just stick it down on there, on that right there where you can see. And if you can't see, you get you a piece of a clear like case you put your models in, and put you a flashlight underneath it and set this on top of it, and it'll shine through. Now after you got that, get you a thin Sharpie, and I'm going to do this kind of roughly, but you map out your area, and it's very important that you do the whole decal. You trace it out, and I'm doing this roughly. Okay, now that you got that, as you can see, you got that there. Take it off of there, and what I like to do is stick it down on a clean surface like this. Now, as far as this bottom line goes, I leave that bottom line there, but I don't cut it. I leave the bottom line there after I've traced out the decal or the pattern. That way I can use this as the edge for the bottom of the car, and then I wrap the extra around the bottom of the car. So real easy. I'll take this and line this up with this. And for this, I will use let's use the small one here. I don't like this small one to do. This small one doesn't like to do small runs like that. It turns very easily, but this is where it shines. These tiny little blades, you can get up in here, and if you take your time, watch what you're doing. Which, once again, I'm doing this a little quickly just to show you guys. You can get that curve. Now I messed it up a little bit, but I did that just because time. Now, that's why I don't like that little blade for that. Let's do this. Little blade only works best when you're doing the tight corners, like I was just doing to begin with. And then we're going to put some happy little trees. Some happy little trees over there. And maybe a little cabin with a murderer. Okay, let's see. Line that up good, or good enough for demonstrational purposes. Okay, I know that worked. Okay, get that out of there. Yeah, okay, it's gonna be fine. Now, there's your transfer. And I can do it on this side here. I think this, yeah. There you go. You lay it on there like that there. And then you got this extra edge, and that's going to be the edge of the body right there. So there's the edge of your body. So you get your rollover, so you know that it's sealed, and you can wrap it around this way. And maybe you can add a little tape on the sides or whatever. So there you go. There's how you get that. So once you got that down all around the car using the decal sheet, spray the whole car with a bit of matte clear, or just around your tape edges, just old Tester's matte clear. You just spray the tape lines, and the tape lines will seal down. And once that dries, you can spray your body color over it. And as you can see, if I can get out of the frame, it might focus. You get a nice tight line right there. And that works great for two-tone paint jobs. You don't have to just do it with NASCAR. If you're doing two-tone paint jobs, when you get your tape down for your second layer of paint, always hit that thing with some matte clear, and let it dry. Matte clear sometimes will pool up a little bit, but it always kind of evaporates, but it locks that tape down. So when you spray your spray and let it dry completely, when you peel that tape off, you get a nice, smooth, crisp edge with, I'm not going to say it eliminates bleed over completely or bleed under the tape completely, but it eliminates 98% of it. Just make sure your tape's stuck and all that. So you end up with, something that you can run them lines on. Now, I ran them lines a little while ago, and they seem to be holding down. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to be spraying clear coat on it for not the numbers, but for the good wrench, wherever the good wrench went off to. There's a good wrench around here I cut out. But for the good wrench labels, I'm going to be shooting some clear over them to lock them down. And the main reason why I'm doing that is because they have, I don't feel like cutting out each individual letter. And you're going to be able to see that it's one decal and it needs to look like a paint job. I'm not going to put clear over the numbers because the numbers I'm using are not the white numbers that you're used to from Dale Earnhardt. They're the silver numbers. And I want to use them because white number was the last number he used. I want to use a silver and make it a little bit different. Now let's see. I'm gonna do another step here if y'all want to see. I have to put this on around the front of the car, which is this here. Now what I'm gonna do, just to be safe, I'm gonna go on and get this thing so I can work with it. Ooh, that is too close. Now, you could just go on and cut straight through that, right? But there's an issue. There's something called roll. And your decal, if you cut all the way through the paper, through the decal and all the way through the paper, for some reason, it does this thing called roll, where the decal will roll over, the edges will stick up. And you don't want to do that. So I'm still kind of, let's see, I'm not going to use that silver, so it don't really matter. Now that you get it cut out, I need this to go over this, right? But all I need is that red line. So you don't want to cut all the way through the decal. And this is where I should have left the damn thing on there, but you know, I can't help myself. All right. Let's do it this way. So how's everybody doing today? Everybody doing all right? Can y'all believe Hobby Lobby stopped carrying Tamiya tape? They want to go with their own products? Turd in a punch bowl, guys. Turd in a punch bowl. So you take these small blades here, which, I'll be damned. I like that blade better. Let me change the blade right quick. I want a good, fresh, hot blade. Hot. If you're liking the video, guys, please give me a thumbs up. It don't really do anything at all. It just makes me know that y'all are digging what I'm doing. Hey there, Gary. Because, you know, believe me, I don't want to do it if you don't want to hang out. One of them things. And these little knives can be a little expensive, but for tiny, tedious work, you know, I'm debating on whether I should use the full size. See if I'm gonna do that. If Fast Jimmy can get on here, if anybody can get in touch with him, I got some tips for him. Okay. Very carefully get up to that line. Now remember, this is not a race. It's not a race. It's all cool. So you can get close to that line as you can. Very slowly, you start to cut. You do not want to cut all the way through the decal. You want to very carefully cut right alongside the red. Very carefully. I'm having trouble today. I've been having trouble with my eyes. Don't you turn on me, you son of a bitch. Okay. Back in the groove. The upper room. Okay. And just take your time. Try to keep your wrists straight. Don't yank. It's not a race. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. You just take your time. Go very slow. Make sure you're cutting the decal, but not all the way through the paper. Sometimes you can get another bite on it. Taking your time is key. One thing about models you got to remember is they aren't going nowhere. They're plastic. They'll be there when you get to it. So you just take your time. There's a little curve here, which I will compensate for, much like my small penis. All right, that's done. That's done. Now, it's not perfect. I got some wibbly wobbly edges here that I'm going to work on. Now, you don't want to cut it through. And guys, military guys and stuff's been doing this for a long time. You get the decal wet and then you peel this away. And when it's peeled away, then you get your red. Oh gosh, I broke my hand, as you can see. See the swelling? I told Miss Lisa to make me a sandwich, and she didn't do it. So, she was too busy mopping. No, I'm kidding. If I ever did that to Miss Lisa, she would fucking cut me in half. I pushed an amp in the back of my car, and I broke my hand. I pushed too hard, which is hard to believe, but it happened. It happened. That's good. I suggest you guys get some of this stuff. It's worth it. Okay, let me look at y'all's comments right quick, because I have been concentrating. I don't think he's going to twist it too much. Well, if you're going to build this kit and you have it in your stash, you need to get these decals. These decals are Power Slide decals. And you can go directly to the website, or you can get them off of eBay. eBay's a little more expensive. They cost me about 17 bucks. But the kit decals, they're misshapen. They're not correct. It looks very toy-like. Plus, it's yellowed and they're old. Get you a set of those. And I always, if I can and can get them reasonable enough, I get two. I get two sets. So I got an extra. Normally, you guys come to the shows and y'all see the stuff on YouTube and you'll see how beautiful and great and wonderful a builder I am. Miss Lisa gets to see behind the curtain, because there's a pile back there of all my fuck ups. And I fuck up more than I do right. And I think that's all of us. So I usually use both sets of decals, and sometimes 3 sets of decals, because I'm a douche. But I keep plugging at it. I see some of these guys, they do things so perfectly. I am not one of them, people. I am not one of them. But let's see if I can turn it around. All right. Now you can see with the silver cut away, it's leaving an okay red line there. That looks good. Cut the silver away on that one, and I turned around. This is it without it. And you can see a bit of how straight that line is. You see how straight and crisp that line is? It has a lot to do with the fact that I'm using Tamiya tape for all the main surfaces, and I sprayed some matte clear over that, as well as the body is matte clear. It was supposed to be gloss, but I got the wrong kind, so it'll be okay. It'll work out. I've got some stuff cut open on here, and that ought to be good too. And as far as the truck goes, the truck, I basically took the dually that just came out, the silver truck dually, and I extended the frame. There's the frame extension right there. You know, this is just mocked up. This is just a mock-up just to see how high I have to get the rear bed. So a lot of stuff still got to be done. But this is just so I can get it sitting right. And I don't really like those rims, so I ordered some new ones that are a little more correct, or a little more work truck like. That's more like bitch boy truck. You know, I got a dually because my daddy bought me one type wheels. But and the okay, there's the white one that y'all are used to, and then I'm using the silver there, so you can see. And this is very cool. I really wish the Tim Richmond would have worked out. Eventually, I will get one done. But this one has, I think, 2 different cars, maybe even 3 different cars on it. And that's done with the different sponsors and the way all that goes together. And you can see here, I don't know how well you can see it, but I've cut all the way down that tape line, and it is not perfect by any means, but it's close enough. I will get the decal wet and I will peel all this out and away and cut what remaining that's stuck free. And then I'll put it on the front here and work it around, which I'll do here in just a little bit for you guys. I'm wishing that old Fast Jimmy was in here, but you know, I tried looking his number up and didn't get it. There's something in my hair. It's called a bald spot. All right. Looks good from my phone. Yeah, it looks. I wish it. Yeah. I'm just reading y'all's comments. Neat trick. Neat trick. So you're a NASCAR guy, huh? You build NASCARs? If you build NASCARs, then you know you feel my pain. Use my tricks. Anything that you see me do that you like or think you can benefit from, please use it, because that's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm going to take a break from that, and when I come back, I will go ahead and fight with the red and put that on there. I'm going to show y'all how that works. But another beautiful day here in South Mississippi. We are not locked down. We can come and go as we please. You got a feeling they're going to try to, but we ain't going to let them. Yep, poor old IROC sitting over there so dirty. She's just sitting there. But if you're a NASCAR builder, it looks like you got a picture there, a Tide car. He might have already left. But yeah, use all the stuff you can see. I get in arguments with the NASCAR guys all the time. Not really trying to, but I like putting clear over certain things, and they tell me that, you know, I should never do that, that they never did that, and yes, they did. Example is a Daytona qualifying car. A Daytona car back in the day, and maybe even some of them today, are painted. All the stuff's put on them. They're clear coated and wet sanded. All the rough edges are smoothed. Everything that comes to a point underneath the car is rounded. That's and you can listen to Darrell Waltrip on his channel tell you all about it. So if you look up Waltrip's Corner or something like that, he's got a few videos from a few years back, and he'll tell you all about it. And that's to all the people that go, they didn't do that. Yeah, they did. And nowadays all the cars are wrapped, so basically you would want to clear coat it to make it look like a wrap, but you know, I don't like that type of music. Dig down in here, see if I can't find that there, and that there, and that there, that there. Looks like we got a new viewer. I was really hoping Fast Jimmy would step in here, but yeah, those are power slide. Those are power slide decals. I got them off of eBay, and I've learned that probably a lot of people just put it up there, and then you buy it, and then they go to the website where you can get them at a cheaper price and buy them, make $1 or $2 off of them. That's probably what they do. And I also have a hot bath, a heat bath for these decals, but I'm not going to be doing a tremendous amount to where I need that hot bath. Hello, Miss Lady. Oof. Hello. Got 5 people now. All right. Now it's fixing to get tedious, guys. So bear with me. Bear with me. All right. I got my hot water. Yep, hot. Got the decal that I trimmed the red off of. And I got the car. So I'm just going to put this in for a minute. Power slide decals are freaking awesome, man. I mean, they come right off when you, I mean, a lot easier than especially the decals that we've been having to battle with all these years. Now, I'll lay this thing down like this. And get all of your decals out of the way, or you'll be doing a lot of extra decal work. So what I try to do is kind of pull on this. It's already wanting to let loose, but I can see in places where it's still kind of got a bit there. And I'll go in and kind of pull that away. Okay. And I'll just peel this up real gently like. And that's it. Now you got your red stripe. Now that you have your red stripe, I like to kind of wet the surface a little bit and clean it off, just in case it has something there, because you never know. And this is really the most tedious part right here. This is where it can get pretty aggravating. So I forgot which way this was facing. Okay, now I know. And knowing is half the battle. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to start out on this end with a broke freaking hand. I gotta do it this way, guys. It is what it is. Okay. Now I just got it on there. See, it's just on there. Now I can take my tools and I can start working it, getting it where I need it to be. And if you've done a little wet sanding to kind of smooth that edge out that's on there from the 2 different colors, it shouldn't take long at all for you to kind of get it up over that lip and just slowly finagle it, because remember, it ain't going nowhere. Put a little more water on it if you need to. Okay, that's good. Now my red stripe is on. So now I've got red stripes. Now I know this red stripe's a little higher than this one. I did that for a reason, because I'm lazy. All right, let's see. Now I'm going to slowly start to push that water out of there. And hopefully it stays on that lip where it's supposed to. It stays somewhat straight. And this is where it's going to play around a bit, where it's going to give you a little bit of fiddling. Because it wouldn't, you can cut decals. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just like people are afraid to sand on their cars. Don't be afraid. Once you figure it out, you go, oh, well, okay, all right, I got this. I got this. It ain't that big of a deal. All right, I got most of the water out. I'll get it to its final little place there. Oh, don't cut through it like that. Yeah, looks good. There it is. It's on. Now I'm just going to let it sit. So that's that side. That's that side. And of course, you always want to take a paper towel or whatever it is that you use and wipe all this up, get it good and dry, because you know that you're going to be putting more decals down. Because you say, oh, I'm only going to do a little bit, and you end up doing a whole lot more. So now this is what we've got left. We got that and that. Yeah, that's why I say don't worry about the old decals. These are new decals. These are power slide decals. Especially if you're doing a NASCAR, just spend the money. Just spend the money and get a set of decals. I'm having to modify these decals for them to work, and the main reason why I'm modifying them is this piece right here didn't have everything cut out for it and everything. It was just a solid piece, and I didn't feel like messing with all that, so I just painted the silver on. Painted the silver on, and how's that? I think it looks good. I think it looks good enough. It still got to get the clear on it and all that stuff. But now, to that. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Okay, let's see. Where's the Goodrich decal? That's the fuck I want to know. What is the Goodrich decal? There it is. All right. The Goodrich decal. Now, when you get these decals, I want you to understand, don't go by the box art, because that's how I messed up. These decals correct what's wrong with the decal sheet from the model company. So the silver line is a lot lower. Now this applies only if you're gonna paint the silver on, which I wanted to do. I didn't want the silver to be a decal, which would have been fine until you got to the front here, and then it would have started to look sloppy because of these holes, and there's a lot of modifications you'd have had to do, a lot of tricks you'd have had to do to try to make that decal look good on the front of that car. But go buy, and always when you get the aftermarket decals, go buy the black and white piece of paper for the body line. For this body line right here. Now I know my body line on mine is way too high, and I did that on purpose because I saw an Earnhardt car like that, and I'm wanting to do it like that because the car is going to be cocked, and it kind of, cock. But I like it. I think it looks good. It's good. It's not going to be my best work. Not going to be my worst. So, all right, here we go. We're going to do where are we at? Okay, we got 3 more to go. We're going to do the next complicated one, which is this here. So, I'm going to grab my trusty ruler. I need a smaller ruler. Let's see. This is the most tedious, aggravating one. Trying to get this sucker here. Now you can free it. You can freehand it. Now these little knives, I'm telling you, they're worth their weight in gold if you learn how to use them. Do not make long passes with them. This is designed for fine work, like this corner right here. You know, that's all these things are designed for. So when you see them hanging up in the hobby store, that's what they're for. Because you can twist and turn while you're cutting, but they really twist and turn when you're trying to cut a long distance. So let's see here. Try to get it. Take my time here. What direction should I go? Should I go this way? Let's try this way. See what's up with this here. Because I'm just wanting to barely see the red. Okay. Now remember, guys, do not cut all the way through. See, I'm already off. Now, I hadn't cut all the way through. Now I can switch to this knife, this little knife, and this little knife. I can see where I stopped. Run up to that edge. Sorry if I'm not talking. Oof, slipped out the hole. Pun intended. Okay, let's see. And remember, if you fuck up, it's not the end of the world. Nobody's gonna die. It's okay. All right, now I got that cut. And I'll go back through with my ruler like I've been doing, just to be safe on the other decal that's above it. Because I know every one of you has done this. Grabbed your knife just to cut through right quick because it's no bigger deal and you end up cutting another decal. Ooh, that's like I just stabbed myself with. Now you cut all the way through. Okay, now y'all done seen this process. I know a lot of y'all are coming and going and leaving and all, and that's fine. I'm really kind of doing this video because I want to see Fast Jimmy pop in here because I wanted to give him some of my pointers and stuff on this, but he's probably busy. Now let's see how well I cut this. I'm going to dip it in. And believe me, I don't want to do this. I'm nervous doing it. I don't want to do it. But you just got to do it if you're going to get it done. Just jump on in and do it. I already broke my hand. I already got a broke hand right now. See this swelling? How much did I can open it? It is what it is. Okay, let's get back to this. All right. Now, I'm hoping that I cut all the way through because she'll start letting loose. See, that cut well. Okay. All right, yeah, that cut well. Now, I don't give a crap about this silver. The silver, I do not need. It's the red that I'm trying to be careful with. And yeah, you can cut decals wet. You're seeing me do it now. Okay. And that's junk. You don't need that. You know. Get that out. Okay, there it is. There is the piece that we need. There is the red. So, I'm going to go back over the area that we wet sanded very lightly to get this smooth, which makes it a lot easier to work with. Makes it a lot easier to work with, guys, when you got it all sanded smooth for this transition line here. Now we've cut the silver away, and I'm going to get tedious for a moment and get this on here. Trying to be careful. I think I'm gonna go up with it because the last time it just didn't work out that way. And this ain't gonna work out either. Look at this. Jesus Christ. And yes, it's nervous and tedious. And look, just like everybody else, that's what it looks like when it first goes on. It's all discombobulated. Now, you take your knife and you can start working it into where it's got to go. If it starts to stick, just drop a little bit of water back on it. It's okay. This stuff will move. And I like to get a fixed point. And usually these decals are a little longer than they should be on the ends. Gives you a little play room. This one's no exception. All right, it's laid down right where it needs to be. Now, just going to take and just get a lot of this water up very gently. I'm not going to press because that happens. Let's get her moving. There we go. There we go. Eat on her. I had it on there very nice, and then I messed it up, which is just how modeling works. Half the time you're chasing your mistakes. The key is not to chase too far. This thing stretched or something because it's lining up like a bitch now. Okay, there you go. She lined up. Now I'm going to work from the center out. Kind of keep it where it needs to be. I'm going to kind of roll from the center out. Just roll. Just try to roll. You don't want to move back and forth like that. Sometimes these little cheap ones can be all poofy looking. Just twirl it in your finger like that. And now it's tightened up enough. And you just want to kind of roll. You can still use your little knife to get it where you gotta get it. Now I know, guys, y'all have all done this before. This ain't no secret, I know that, but I am just in a good mood today. I feel like talking to you guys about this. Okay, there it is. Now you got two of them on. So we got 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3, 4 down, 2 to go. All right, back up there now. Who else is in the NASCAR build? Anybody else in the NASCAR build there? people keep leaving, so that's probably my cue. Y'all are about tired of watching me do this. But I honestly just wanted to kind of pop on here and hope that Jimmy would get on so I could holler at him for a moment. All right. And we're just rinsing and repeating, rinsing and repeating. Mama say mama mama makusa, which is French for who let the dog into the bathroom. All right, if you're just tuning in, we are learning French. Okay. Now, while I was talking to y'all, I just did this quick little straight line here, and this one should be popping loose pretty easily. Hopefully. It's not wanting to give up. Part of this, I'm wanting to say that part of this decal sheet was stored in a weird area. There you go. See, it's coming right off and leaving me that pretty red line that I need. Boom. All right, the silver's off of there. Yep, and I can see where it's sticking. Silver is off. I can see where part of it's sticking. So that they were stored in a bad place. I'm gonna let it sit just for a couple more minutes. It might loosen that up. But let's see. Everybody say hi. Talk to me. That's how we do this, guys. We talk back and forth. I know you're not sitting there naked in a beanbag chair eating Cheetos. Some of you are probably sitting on your bench. You have a couple cars you've done, yeah, cool. Don't let the decals scare you. I would suggest starting out, if you're going to start out with a NASCAR, try to get a single color. This is a good car for you to try as one of your first. It's white. This is classic Model Master white. This is from a few years ago. And that's all decals that you see on there. And it's cleared over the top, this particular car. Okay. Did this let loose? Yes, it did. Oh my God. Now we have a problem. All right. Yes. Yeah, I had the old Street Outlaws page that I have. I might end up shutting that down. Are y'all familiar with that page? Any of y'all? It's a page I put up a few years ago, a couple of years ago for a build, but I'm having issues. I have an individual on there that was posting all kind of stuff that didn't relate to anything. Like for one, he posted a video of a song playing and he's sitting in his car while the song's playing and he's just going, what is that shit? Like, I'm gonna watch that on the Street Outlaws page and go, man, look at that guy, he's cool. So I didn't say nothing to him about that, but he's just posting all kind of crazy shit. So he started posting religious stuff. And I went on there and I commented on there. I say, man, do me a favor, please. No religious things. Because I don't want no religious things on there. He jumped my ass. Called me a fuckhead, brainwashed, piece of shit, waterhead, something or another. I don't know. He called me something. So I posted about it on there. So instead of him responding to me, he took it and put it on his page because he was proud of it, because he's a troublemaker. So I blocked him. He's still on the page. The guy that's on the page, are you familiar with the guy I'm talking about? Always posting shit, posting about his SS Camaro. He's posting about fights or just things that just have nothing to do with the page. And I asked him one time, I said, hey man, how is this model related? And his response to me was, well, you want to see some of the best models in the world because I have them. And he started showing me pictures of his. And then he said they was all unfinished. Hey man, how's it going? Part-time Customs. And I said, no, I already have them. And I sent him pictures of mine. He didn't respond. We're just working on some very fine decal work right now on an Earnhardt car, which has now become my build for the Corona 500, because Model Master products are terrible, and my Tim Richmond paint job messed up when it shouldn't have. Now, this is all to me I hear, which if I'm lucky it won't mess up, but just about everything I do I gotta do 3 or 4 times. Okay, we've got all the red around the car except for the very rear, and that's the last part of red, and that looks a little rough. Is that rough? No, it just feels that. Well, just for shits and grins, because I want it to lay down good. A little bit of light sand in there. You do know the guy? So let me ask you, do you feel he's a troublemaker? Because he's talking to the wrong one with that big mouth he's got. But then I seen he's in Northern California and I went, yep, there's your problem. Here's your problem, sir. I got a feeling I probably should have put this red on the trunk or on the rear bumper. I probably should have put this on first. And if you're just tuning in, I'm cutting the silver away. The guy is I don't know. I tried to be nice. I mean, you know. And he basically told me that, you know, I was crazy, that I was crazy. You know, and I'm like, look, just ask. Don't share that stuff if you would, please. Because I really don't want to deal with it. I am sure, positive even, that there are plenty of vanilla religious things on Facebook. I'm sure that Facebook has tons of it. You know, so go hang out over there and post stuff there. You know, why you got to come mess with me? And it's not that I am not religious. Well, I'm not religious, or that I don't believe, or I'm an atheist, or whatever it is. That's not it at all. But people have their reasons. But let's see here. I'm trying to cut this right because I want it to be right. Because if it ain't, I'm sure Pappy will come get me, and I don't want him to come get me. Okay. Now I'm gonna dip her in the water. or sit there for a minute and always go back every now and then and check where you've just laid stuff down. Because if you don't, I'm telling you, it will come loose. Okay, and that looks good. Let's see. Yeah, he's a bit of a douche, you know. And you know, the page was started for modeling, for modelers, and all these other people want to join it, and they want to post stuff about the Real Street Outlaws and stuff. Which, okay, fine, cool, man. I mean, I get it. All right, cool. We're not really using that page at the moment, so don't really have a problem with it. So everybody have fun with that. And I just have a few things, you know. I don't want to get political on there, which the guy hates Trump anyway, I think. I don't want to get political on there, and I don't want to get religious on there, and I don't want a bunch of buying and selling and trading on there. It was really created for us guys, like 500 and something people. How many pages do you have? I only got 3 or 4. But the Street Outlaws page was for a build that we did years back. Street Outlaws community build. And then, you know, then we got the Monster Truck page, which ain't doing much. And then we got the YouTube modelers page. You know. So the Street Outlaws page was kind of sitting dormant, not doing nothing. And people started requesting to be on it, so I just started letting people, you know, I just started accepting them and letting them get on there and do whatever. But like I said, I got a rule: just no religious stuff, no buying and selling, and you know, and no crap, you know, no bull crap. But this individual, oh, come on, Joe, this individual thinks that he can do what he wants. He's got God on his side, which gives him the right to blaspheme me. I don't really care, though. Seems like a lonely guy. Operator. All right, how many people remember back in the day, before these cell phones, when you were trying to get in touch with somebody and your phone was busy and they were on the phone, you could call the operator and say, hey, I need you to do a breakthrough for me. And they would break into the other person's call and say, hey, this individual is trying to get in touch with you. How many of you guys pissed off your girlfriends doing that? All right, just try to get this looking straight. And all right, that's about as straight as I'm gonna get it. And I could do a little better right here. Maybe move this up to meet it. I'm not talking, guys. I'm just trying to get this lined up decenter than it is. This is the tricky part, is just this little piece here, which I have to have on here, which I will keep on here. If it doesn't want to line up too well, I'll just disperse it. Everywhere else is lining up really good except for right here. I know what I can do if I get it to lay out without being underneath that other one. Then, there we go. No, that's not underneath the other one. I can cut it right there. All right. Now it ain't gonna line up perfect, but that'll be all right. It is what it is. Beggars can't be choosers. And I'm happy with that. All right, guys, there it is. We did it. We got everything on there. All the red around the silver now, which is a good step. Okay. Yeah, you remember not old enough for that? Yeah, that was 90s latest, or even early 2000s when they stopped doing that. I imagine if you got a landline, you can still do that. Dial tones is another thing you kids don't remember. Remember the first time my daughter heard a dial tone, she goes, "Something's wrong with the phone, Dad." "What's wrong with the phone?" I picked it up and says, "Fine." "What's that noise?" "It's a dial tone." And if you are a guitar player, the dial tone, when you pick it up, is an F sharp. And you can tune your guitar from there. Okay. I need to let that dry really well. And then push down the areas that are lifted up. Like I said, I cut the silver away from that because all of that silver was actually on the decal. I painted that on the car, so I took it all off if you're just watching. Days I'd like to forget. Days you'd like to forget. It wasn't that bad back then, was it? Was it that bad back then? Okay, now, like I said, I'm not going to put clear over the threes, because the threes are the ones I'm using are silver. I'm using the 88 car from 1988, which is the top car. The 89 car was the first time he used the white letters, the white 3, which became synonymous with him. I'm gonna do the older school silver 3 because it looks badass. Let's see, it looks like the G goes right up underneath. Okay, it's good, it's good, it's good. That's a good wrench. So, I'd like to break down you guys for a moment. Yeah, I think it looks good. I think it looks good. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have clear on it yet, and clear fixes a lot of stuff. You can see right there, near that rear bumper there, that's going to have to be pushed down. The front is pretty decent. There's still a little silver left on there. That'll work. You know, these are race cars, so they're not supposed to be perfect. Not sure what to do with this. I want to kind of make it a Miller, but I cannot find a Chevy cab worth of shit, so it's going to be a Ford. But Fords are work trucks, I guess, so it'll work out. And she'll have a winch, and she'll have all the lights and mirrors and doohickeys and hickey-doos and all that stuff. And exhaust coming out back in front of the tire there like they do. But I think it's coming out okay. You can see up underneath there where I extended the frame and all that stuff. Hey, how you doing? Let's see. And a lot of cool. There's differences from the 89 car. We'll look at it this way. Okay. 88 car that I'm doing has different, and not much different, but these are different. These are different. These are different. You know. '89. So, and these are really nice decals. I really do like them. Look at that. Killer. Get your tire decals, but I won't be using those tire decals. I have my own. Very cool. But, all right, guys. I'm glad y'all could tune in just for a little bit and watch me work a little bit. I was hoping Fast Jimmy would get in here. So I'm going to put this in here for Fast Jimmy. So when I talk to him, I'll tell him go to the end of the video. And the deal is, if the decals don't work out for you, Jimmy, just let me know. We'll get you a set of decals for the Haviland car. Take your time with it, read the instructions. The wheels never sit right till the car is glued in place. Sometimes they squat in the ass a bit. But I also have a photo etch kit for that car, I think. But just take your time with the decals. If they don't work, we'll get you another set. Those do look yellowed, but they may work. If they don't worry about it. I have a set here that's yellowed or whatever. It's coming. I got the same kit. And if you decide you don't like that car, get another one, or think of another decal sheet. We'll get that for you. But try to get you some Tamiya black. Tamiya black is just in the can. Get it off of eBay. Awesome. But if you have any questions, Jimmy, you just let me know, okay, bud? Because I know that these cars can be frustrating, and I know you're gonna kind of build it like it is, and you haven't done much custom work with it. So if you have any questions about little custom trick details to do to the things, just let me know, because I can tell you what I do, which, you know, I'm not the greatest at it, but I do have fun with it. But all right, guys, that was to Jimmy. Thank you guys for tuning in, and for the guys on the Street Outlaws page, I think that guy is still on there. So you know, if he disrupts one more time, he's out of there. I'll block him and all that kind of stuff, because we're not going to have that. You know, he's a keyboard cowboy. Very insecure individual. Got to ride around flashing his cars and looking into the camera and playing music, which is the dumbest shit I think I've ever seen. It's intimidating like a good souffle is. You know how intimidated you get when you get next to a souffle? You don't. So, all right. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Little Joe from Back Bay Scale Customs. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. I don't want to go too far or make you guys bored. So I did what I was here to do, and I hope y'all learned something today from my little tutorial show here. And maybe I'll do another one whenever I got to wet sand or something again, or when I have a neat little trick on adding detail to NASCAR or something like that. I will be back on here to show you guys. So if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments down below. Y'all have a safe and wonderful day. Take it easy. I'm out of here.